films about it.
The John Wayne film.
John Wayne, yeah.
That was kind of a little part.
I'm sure.
The other one with Billy Bob Thornton in it, they say that's more closer to the story.
Which one?
The one with Billy Bob Thornton in it,
What's that?
it's from the album.
It's still down.
With Douglas Quaid in it, and there's all the events Quaid, but it's all the kind of true story of trying to get close to what happened.
Did you walk through or walk around?
You can do all this up here. Just to let you know, that room down there, that's two of the oldest artifacts in the building. One is the grizzly bear trap on top of the table, and on the floor to your left is a safe. Both those are about 200 years old, along with that chandelier right there. That's about 200 years old. That's made out of tin. So they found that about 30 years ago in one of our state warehouses, and they said, "Oh, this came from here." So they brought it back here. That's exactly what it looked like. It didn't rust or anything, because you have to have, tin has to be near water. You get water on to rust.
Yeah.
When you hear the temperature keeps it nice and
Keeps it lovely, yeah.
If you're interested in more historical stuff, right behind us over here is the museum. That has a lot of stuff about the people that lived here, the Spanish, the Mexicans, the Indians that lived here, and the Americans. So there's a lot of information over there too.
Just over there.
Just out the door, you see the big white old building to your left when you walk out.
Okay. That is fantastic.
That's good.
I can tell you some other things too.
Yeah, you carry on.
We know nothing about it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll give you a quick history lesson there.
Yeah.
So the Spaniards were here first, and they took everything. And when the Mexican government kicked them out, they all of a sudden realized ships started coming to the shores, wanted to do business from other places in the world. The Spaniard government would not let any ships land here, do business. They would allow them, they would take their ships to do business. But here in this part of the world, they wouldn't allow that to happen, because one thing what we understand is Spain, the King of Spain, gave a lot of that land to his friends down in the southern part. Okay, so they had their own little places, their own countries and stuff, were ruled by these people, who also had the people working for them who became slaves. The Indians and the people that lived there all worked for these people that owned this property, which was part of the Mexican government. The Spaniard government. So what ended up happening after that, after Mexico kicked them out, they ended up with all this property, ships started arriving. So they wanted to do something. So they hired a person in Texas to come here and build this building, because he had done the same thing in Texas. And he picked Monterey because of how Monterey shape, away from the ocean and away from the storms. And we get them. And so that's why he picked this harbor. And because the water went all the way down, as you see on the picture, the water went all the way down.
Yeah.
If you would have stood outside here and looked and sitting on those porches right there, just like that man, you would have seen all the way down was just beach. All the way around here was beach. So they would bring the stuff up here, load this up all the way to the rafters, from one end to the other end. They would determine the tonnage of the stuff, then taxing on that. Then they would get the manifest and go through the manifest and taxing on that. This stayed like that until about 1846, 1845, around there, when Commodore John Sloat arrived with 3 warships and 200 Marines and sailors and landed on the shores of Monterey, captured Monterey for the United States government, planted the first flag right out here where the stones and everything are at, planted the first flag right there for the United States government, capturing this town, which ended up starting the Mexican-American War, which lasted 2 years. So after the war happened, we, the people of California, wanted to make our own government, just like Texas did, a republic. So we, up the street up here is a place called Colton Hall. It's not open right now, but if you go in there, they have all the desks and everything of all the people who came from all over California to work on ratifying to make this our own country, republic. And so they were working on it, getting everything done, and all of a sudden something changed everything. The gold rush hit. And we were a little bit of a country. The United States really hasn't been helping too much at the time, but they came in and said, hey, look, you become a territory, we'll
So
send
this
troops.
was a separate country, is it?
We were a little country at one point in
No
time.
send troops to.
The United States sent troops and warships here to protect us from people stealing from the gold from people and stuff like that. So that's what ended up happening. And when we became a part of the United States in 1850, because it was a quick ratification, because gold changed everything.
So where was the gold rush?
The gold rush was up in the mountains about 100 miles from here, 100 to 150 miles. From the northern part, which was up near Tahoe, all the way down to the end of part down near Fresno. So you have the upper Sierras and the lower Sierras. So the first part was in the upper part.
We're going up to Mendocino, is that?
No, that's nowhere near it.
No, we're not.
The Yosemite, you've been to Yosemite?
Yeah, we've seen.
That's part of it. Yosemite really didn't have anything, but that was the area. That was called, that's of the higher country, but this was the lower part of it. Because what happened was, they said, the reason is that all the gold rolled down the hill into those lower areas of the lower Sierras. So the gold,
What sort of Indian tribes lived in?
the Indians were from the Ohlone tribe. The Ohlone was mostly coastal people. The Ewoks were they were the ones on the mountains and stuff. There were two different tribes. Actually, three. There was one down in San Diego, the lower part of California. So what ended up happening was the Indians had all this stuff here. They mostly lived on the ocean. They farmed and everything here. And then when the Spaniards landed, they kind of got them to come to the church, kind of say. They kind of made them slaves. They made them do all this work and stuff. We actually, first time, when Father Felipe Serra arrived, he actually was right over here at the St. Carlos Church. He wanted to make that the what they call the presidio for the church. But it was too small. They couldn't grow anything, so they moved out to Carmel, near the Carmel mouth of the valley, where there was water and stuff. So that they moved the church over there. So stayed like that for a while. Like I said, then in 1850 everything changed. So, that's a quick history of the whole thing.
Thank you.